Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It's kind of a weird day to be doing this, huh? Well, I just wanted to make sure you got your Facebook worth of me this week. I wanted to just jump on because got a question, or actually a few times asked how to make quilt labels on our embroidery machines. And I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. So yes, Shanae, come on over. So I wanted to do that. And since this won't take so long, and I thought I could jump on a Tuesday or, well, today and show you guys how to do that. But I wanted to be early enough because I know that Mike over at Mama's Boy, every Tuesday, it's either 7 or 8, has a fantastic live that you should totally watch. If you're not a part of his group, it's Mama's Boys Designs. Him and Amanda on there are absolutely amazing. So you must go join the group and watch his lives on Tuesday. So yeah, today let's talk about quilt labels. That's so exciting. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I did. It was a very busy weekend for me, so that's why I didn't do Sunday Night Live. Saturday, went and picked up a new car, had to drive to Georgia to get it. And then Sunday, I wanted to spend time with my friends and family. So I got to see 2 of my dearest friends and then my family, which was amazing. So it was a great day. So I hope y'all had a great one too. Yeah, so today I wanted to kind of show you how to make easy quilt labels, or you can make labels for anything, really, using your embroidery machine. Now, of course, if you're new to the group, hi, I'm Anna. I am a National Baby Lock educator, so I do everything on a baby lock. A lot of the times I use the built-in digitizer that's built into the machine called IQ Designer. If you have a brother, that would be equal to the My Design Center. So today we're not going to do that. We're actually going to use built-in frames that are on our machines, and a lot of the baby locks actually have this feature. So never fear. If you don't have one of these machines, don't worry about it. If you want to learn a little bit more information about embroidery, always hang out because I always spit some knowledge out at you. So I appreciate you. If you're new to the group, thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot of fun. I always say I have the best group. Yeah, but I'm a little biased. Yeah. So cool thing I wanted to show you guys that I just got. One of my besties is Miss Hope Yoder. And let me show you what she sent me in the mail. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I might have to put it on camera. But look what came in. Now, these are tags for your sewing. They're wood. They're beautiful. They're buttons. But look what it says. It says handmade by Anna. And then it has bees on it. I'm loving that. So Hope, thank you so, so much. There's a couple different ones in here. Here's a different bee one. And that one's not different. This one's really cute. They all have little bees on them. They are so cute. So if Shanae, you're so funny. Thanks, Ronnie. I love it. I got a Subaru Outback, and girl, I am loving it. But these are so cute. So she has them in a round version of the buttons and then the square buttons. These are great. You can put these on the back of your quilts, the back of your projects. If you're making a bag, this would be so cute on the front of a bag. So check that out. It's Hope so creative. And the group is Designs by Hope Yoder fan group. So she is amazing. So make sure you go check those out. So cute. I don't know if she's on here, but if I know Kim joins in every now and then. So say hi if you do. Yeah, I just got these, Shanae. Aren't they super stinking adorable? I love these. Oh, I didn't get them just today. I got them. I forgot to send her a note. Oh, here's one more that's really cute. And then we'll get started. Look how sweet that is. Love these. I really need to just sit down and sew them onto my projects because, you know, I want everyone to know I made it. Nobody else. I put my time in, right? Yeah, Donna, I am in love already. If you saw what I had before, this is a huge upgrade. It's super fancy. So I'm loving my fancy car. Okay, so let me just show you my quick little sample that I made today. And you know, you go out there and you Google embroidered quilt labels and see what everyone's doing. They make the most beautiful ones. This one's just on a piece of fabric. But some of them I've seen where they've added fabric around and they're stunning. But I just want to give you the basics on basically setting it up and stitching it out. And here we go. Ta-da! But see how cute this is? And these are so quick and so easy. I didn't even measure this. How big is this? Because you can make them as big as you want, of course. So this one is about 6 inches by about 4.5-ish. So this would be great just to stick on a quilt. You can attach these multiple different ways, I'm sure. You could make it a block on the back of the quilt, meaning you can sew it into the backing. You're going to have it quilted, so it's just going to quilt over it, and who cares about that? I mean, it's going to be in there. It doesn't really matter. And as long as a thread, let's say you wouldn't want a black thread. If it was like a white thread that's being quilted over it, no biggie. You can take it just like on a piece of fabric, just like this, and then you can fold the edges to the back and then hand stitch it on. You can even take something like a steam a seam or the embellished foolproof fusible backing and fuse it on the back and then literally fuse it to the back of the quilt. I mean, that stuff's washable. Why not? You know, so you have many different ways. Now, like I said earlier, let me grab, I have some strips over here. Like I said earlier, the ones I looked at today were so beautiful because what people were doing is they're taking and they're framing them with the same fabric as their quilt. So you could take and, you know, frame it with, you know, you would just sew it just like a quilt block. You would just piece it together and it goes all the way around. And it's really beautiful. So you can really match it to your quilt. What I've done today is just do it on regular fabric, regular piece of white tone-on-tone fabric. But let's talk about how we're going to prepare that fabric first before we get into anything. So I have my hoop here and I've got it in a 5x7 because that's really as big as you need. I mean, you can make a giant one if you want to. But what I've done to prepare my fabric is, number one, I have my fabric. I know everything's white, but you can kind of see what's going on here. I have my fabric. Now I have fused it too. And I love this stuff because it's a little bit heavier and there's tons of them out there that you can use. But a fusible interfacing. This one happens to be the Elon Shape Flex 101, not to be confused with the Baby Lock Shape Flex. The Baby Lock Shape Flex is kind of like a fleece. It's really, oh, I love that stuff. But this is different. This is fusible interfacing. So I have it fused to the wrong side of my fabric. And then I have a tearaway in the back. Now, I am a hooper. I like to hoop my fabric rather than floating it, especially for something like this, because you don't want your fabric hooped so tight that when you pop your design out of the hoop, you're going to see all kind of puckers. You want it to be kind of, I hate to say loosely, but not super duper tight. I mean, you can see I can move the inner hoop and outer hoop freely. However, if you're going to float it, just be very careful. Try to use a sticky tearaway stabilizer because when you're doing things like this, lettering, it's not a big, full, heavy embroidery design. You can get more puckering just by floating it on the hoop, on top of the hoop, because you're not getting all that holding together, I guess we could call it. So yes, this may be overstabilized, but look how good it looks. So I've got the fusible interfacing, and then I just have a piece of tearaway. Now you can go in there, and I didn't do it for just for our purposes today, so I could just, you won't be able to see through it with the lights and everything. But go through and you'll remove the paper backing, the tearaway on the back, and then you can play with it from there. So let me see if there's any questions. There you go. Shanae has a great way of being able to, you can turn them inside out and all that to hand stitch it down. So that's great. Thanks, Shanae. Did she freeze up or is it mine? Cindy, I'm not sure. All right, give me some thumbs up, guys. I want to make sure someone said it's freezing up on them, and I just want to make sure that I'm not freezing up on you. So go ahead and give me some thumbs up so I know that we're good to go. I'll take another sip while I'm waiting for that. It's just caffeine. My favorite. I like cold caffeine. Oh, perfect. I like cold caffeine. I don't like coffee. I'm a weirdo. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys. Y'all are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ah, here it is. I think I am wondering if I just saw Miss Carol Gentry, because if that's you, Carol, hey, because I recognize your block, the BOM that we're doing at work picture. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to quickly and easily make one of these using our functions in our machine. Now, if you have a different machine, let's say out there you want to think about buying some frames. Now, what I'm talking about when I say a frame is this cute little lacy frame that's going around. You may have some built into your machine. We definitely have them built into ours. And if you have a Baby Locker Brother, I don't know where it starts at, but there are a lot of them that are already built into your machine. And you'll see what they look like. I am going to work on the Solaris, guys, but it is the same across the board. So if you're on a Meridian, Altair, whatever, it's going to be exactly the same. So just going to switch my camera over, and here we go. It takes me a moment because there you are, Carol. I knew that was you. Hey, girl. Hey. Okay. Welcome to our little group, Carol. Okay, here we go. All right. I do have something else to tell you guys because you guys have asked for them before. I have got on order some special Forever BB Louise. Let me switch back so I can tell you guys about it really quickly. Okay, so I turned my light off so I look all dead. But I told y'all a while back that I was going to get some special USB sticks made, and they're special Forever BB Louise, and those will hopefully come in the next couple weeks. And what I thought I would do is load them with all the directions of everything that we've done so far, not for the pay classes, but for that's on the group. So you'll have directions just to go to make things. So just want to let you guys know about that. And when they come in, I'll show them to you. They're real cute. So, okay, let's switch back over. All right, here we go. Hey, Teresa. Yay, Ronnie says, all right. Okay, let's see if I can get away from that glare a little bit. And let me pull this out a little bit. Sorry, I think I get this thing set up and it gets moved. And all right, here we go. Okay, so now to make this little guy right here, what I am going to do is only work in the embroidery section of the machine. So if you're home, let's just go home. What you want to do is look for your embroidery section. We are not going into, hey, Hope, we are not going into IQ Designer. Hope, I just, will you put a link to your pages so they can order some buttons from you, Hope? Okay, so I am going to select embroidery. And you may have a machine that just has embroidery on it already. If you have a machine that says embroidery and embroidery edit, make sure you select embroidery edit, okay? Because some of the older baby locks will say that. Thanks, Hope. That little guy is wiggly. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to look for my little frames. Look how cute that little delicate frame is. Now, in the baby locks, we have a special category for that. And this one happens to be number 5 on my screen. It may be different on yours, but it's going to look the same. So what it has is it has like a heart and a square. And these are really cool to use, guys. They're there for you to use, to play with, to really do some cool things with. So we're going to select number 5 and look at all of them that we have here on the Solaris. We have circles, squares, diamonds, ovals, rectangles. We have a shield. We have a heart. And then we have the stop sign one, which I forget the name of. It's not a hexie. It's a something or another. And then a different looking shield. And then the rectangle that is vertical. So what I did with this one right here is I just went to the rectangle and look at all the choices I have here. I have tons. Thank you, Hope. Tons and tons of these to choose from. I have 14 to choose from. And so the one that I chose for this little guy is right down here, but let's select a different one. We could actually put a frame within a frame. We can really make it decorative if we want to. But I'm just going to, let's go with, there's some that are double colored that I really like. This one was really cute. And I know you can't see it, but it's black with some little dots in it. So you kind of make octagon. Thanks, Carol. I knew someone would help me out there. That's an octagon, not a hexie. This one's cute because you can make, if you're using like polka dot fabric or something, you have 2 different colors in there so you can, stitch it out. And it'd be really cute. So we're going to select that one. And I'm going to remember what hoop I'm using and how you can easily do that to work within the hoop that you are using. You want to make it maybe as big as possible, but you don't want to go outside of your hoop. Now we can always look at our size, but it's easier to have a box in there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my settings real quick, which is right here, this little piece, oops, not that one, but this little piece of paper right next to it. And if you're in the embroidery side, what happens is it generally will bring you up to the embroidery settings first. And right here where it says embroidery frame display, this is where I can tell it what hoop I would like to use. And it's just going to give me a box so I have it a workable area. So right here, I've got it set for the 10 by 5/8, 10 and 5/8 by 16, but I'm going to change that to my 5 by 7, wherever it is, 5 by 7 right here. And what you'll see when I push OK is you'll see that box now. That is what I have, the area I have to work in. Now, do you have to do this? Absolutely not. But it's nice to have a guide, especially if you're used to working in embroidery software. We're used to kind of having some sort of area to work in. And this is a great help. It's a great tool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Like I said, this one was about 6 by 4. So I'm just going to go and maybe do something close to that. So I will go to edit and then I will go to size. And then for sizing, I'm going to use the arrow or the button with the box that has the arrows, 4 arrows coming out of it. Let's see if you can get that better. I just want to make sure you guys can see that good. There we go. And I'm just going to press and hold until I get it to where I want. Now I went with outside of my little area here. And that's fine if I go outside because I can rotate it. But I think I'm just going to work with it just being a little bit smaller there. So, okay. And let's zoom in so I can show you how cute this little frame is. So do you see it has these little dots and this cute little zigzag? I really like this one. I think it's adorable. Of course, you know me, I am going to change the color of those when I go to stitch out because I don't like the color red. But it doesn't matter what color's on the screen, right? Because you can put whatever color thread you want on in your machine. So now all I have to do is think about what I want to write quotation marks, inside of my box. And for this one, I just put, may this quilt be everlasting for Mama and Daddy, love, Anna, 2020. Now, this is just a sample, Mom. I don't have a quilt. I'm sorry. But I love that font. That font's so pretty. And in your machine, you have tons of fonts to choose from, right? So why not use them? So what we're going to do now is we're going to look down kind of towards the bottom of the machine or the screen, and we're going to see the word add. So if we select the word add, and this is what I love, you can easily combine on screen. And that to me is worth its weight in gold. So when I selected add, it's going to take me back out to what my embroidery screen looks like, no matter what machine I'm in. So what you're going to do is look for the fonts. Now, not these big giant fonts here. You may have two separate areas of fonts. And the ones that look like this, number 3 here, and those are the fonts that you can use to write things out. Let's just think of it that way. But this one right here, and sorry if the dog's barking, I forgot to close my door. This one right here, these are very large, fun fonts that you can, do, I don't know, monograms or something like that with. So I'm going to select number 3. And in the Solaris, I have all these to choose from. In yours, you'll have tons of them to choose from. So you're just going to select whatever font you want. And you know what, guys? I am going to close the door so she is not annoying all of us with her barking. One moment for me. Technical difficulties, there we go, are fixed. That's why we call it live TV. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to select the font I want to use. My favorite font of this whole grouping is number 10. I like to use it for everything. But we'll just use a different one. Maybe I'm doing a child's quilt. So I can select this one right here. And I can spell out whatever I want. So I'm going to make this one kind of short and sweet. Are the fonts up? Oh, the good question here. Are the fonts upper and lower? Absolutely. And I'm going to show you that. Okay. So let's say I was going to make this for my nephew's quilt. So, and I just want to write 4 and 2 and the date. Now, traditionally, with quilt labels, always include 2 and who it's to, and your name, and the date. Be it the year, you can even put the month, you can put whatever you want. But as with quilt historians, if they go back and find your quilt 50 years from now, and especially since we have social media, they're going to be able to look you up and be like, you know what, she made this for her nephew, and she was this amazing person, and wow, she really contributed to this cause and that cause, and stuff like that. Or this is a great way for your family to know that you made this 50 years ago for this person. So I'm just going to do, let's see, I'm just going to do a to and from. So we're going to start with 2, and I'm going to start with the word T-O, and I'm going to start in uppercase and then go to lowercase. So I'm going to first select the T, and now you see it comes in and it's huge, it's too big. But right down here where it says LMS, what that is your large, medium, and small. So after the very first letter, what you want to do is tap whatever size you want. So if we're looking at the screen, if I tap it once to medium, you can see it goes down quite a bit. Or even if I go to small, it goes even teenier. But I'm going to use the medium size. So I'll go back and tap it till it's medium. So you have to do that with the first letter. It's the best way. I'll go back and walk through all the fonts with you guys in just a minute. So if I wanted to do T-O, but I wanted first letter to be uppercase, the second one to be lowercase, I'm going to go right here where it says there's big ABC and little ABC. So I'm going to tap the little ABC and there's the O. And I've even got the librarian in here, and I always call her the librarian. She's going to get me, I know, because I forget what all this stuff is called, but punctuation mark, there we go. I have some sort of punctuation mark, or the whatever this guy is called here, the two little dots. I'm going to tap that, and then I can hit space bar, and the space bar is right down here. And then I can go back to my letters, and I can type in, his name is MJ, so I'll say MJ. And then what I'm going to do is, I can't spell it all out here. Well, let's just do that. So if I want to, if you're able to in your machine to do multiple lines at once, you'll probably have an enter button like this. So we'll tap enter and it'll go to the next line. So I'm going to start with the word from. So uppercase F, lowercase ROM. And I'll use those little circle things. And I'll hit space. And we'll just, oops, let's return. Oh no, I messed up. See, you've got to be very, very careful or you'll erase everything like I did. But remember, who loves to make mistakes? Me, because I get to show you how to fix them. So if you accidentally hit return, you can just tap into the fonts again. Now, since I accidentally messed up, here's the fonts, guys. So the one for this one is 10. And I want to do more of like a childlike look for this one. So I'm going to go, I used that one. So just let me get back to where we were at. Space bar here. Don't hit return, whatever you do. And we'll do MJ. We'll hit enter to go to the next line. So we're going to go to from. So capital F, ROM. And I'm going to use that little, I can't think of the name of it. And we'll hit space. Don't hit return like I did. ABC. And we'll just put Anna. Oops. But see, I don't want the big ones. Well, what do I do? If I don't want my uppercase letters, what am I going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is select the word delete, and go to my lowercase and Anna. And I'll hit the enter key one more time. And then I'm just going to go to the numbers and I'll go 2021 and then hit set. There we go. So that's all I had to do. I'm done. Now I can just go straight to embroidery if I want to. Now, if I needed to rotate this whole thing, I'm going to tell you guys the easiest way to do it rather than go to edit and select rotate and then rotate and all this, because it's going to rotate in two separate entities because this is a design and that's a design. What you want to do is you want to go to embroidery, go to layout, and then rotate, and it'll rotate as a group if you want to. But let's return to that. So I'll just leave it like that. What question did I just see that was in there? Can I make these fit garments? Ooh, Ernestine. Now that's going to be super, super duper duper tiny. So I would use the small font, but just be very careful. Depending on what machine you have, you may have some small fonts built in to use those. But to me, the best garment ones are, I would have them made. But you could if you really wanted to. You're just going to use the small. Okay, so all I would have to do now from this point is select embroidery and stitch it out. And then when you're done, all you're going to do is take it out of the hoop and remove the stabilizer gently. And how we do that gently is we just, especially in the center area, I'm just going to cut me a little piece there. I'm going to gently start taking it away, tearing it away. But what you want to be really careful of because what we don't want to happen is you don't want to stress your stitches. So anytime you're removing tear away from any design, what I'm going to ask you to do is hold your fingers over the embroidered part. Let's get this closer. Hold your fingers over the embroidered part and then hold the stitches down and don't rip away. I see in classes all the time where people just rip away from the hoop. And that scares me so much because what happens is you can kind of mess with the integrity of the design when you do that. So you saw me as I was just kind of holding my my thumbs over the embroidery and gently pulling away. So we would just keep gently pulling away, and there's your tag. Crazy, huh? Yeah, that's that easy. So there's so many different ones in here. I wanted to try this too. So let's see, let's go back to our shapes or our frames. And I want to do a heart. And these are so cute. Now you could really use these for applique, guys. What? That's another class. But yeah, you really can use these to make appliques. It's very, very cool. Can you make it a template? I don't know if I understand the question, but I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could, if what I think you're talking about, yeah, you might be able to, sure. Okay, so let's look at the heart here. Okay, let's do this little scalloped one. I love that. So I'm just going to make it bigger inside of my 5x7. And then I'm going to do something like, I don't know, I'll put someone's name in it and then the date. So let's do this font. It's really cute. So we'll do Hope's name. It's what's coming to mind. So I'm going to do my H, but that H is going to be too small. So this is, again, remember, you have to change the size right down here at the first letter. So I'm going to change it and do HOPE. There we go. And I'll hit enter. And then I'll put a date in there. I'll go 2021. Set. And it comes in as a group. So what I can do is go to move using edit and just move it up to make it aesthetically more pretty. And there we go. And I can stitch that out the same way. Pretty cool, huh? It's so easy. Shirley, girl, get that thing out of the box, dust it off, and push all the buttons. That's all I'm going to say to you. You push all those buttons. So let's see. Yeah, so, I mean, it's really that easy and fast. I feel like I'm wasting your time because it's only been 30 minutes and we're usually here a lot longer. But the thing about it is you really can just quickly make yourself some really fun tags for the back of your quilts. But you can use your labels for anything, really, right? Like you could sew this into a bag inside of the bag and, you know, a little note to someone you made them a bag. And Shirley, you better, girl, I'm watching you. You can really, you know, I think that'd be kind of cute. Like make someone a bag and then put a little note in there and just kind of sew it in, hand sew it in. It'll be so sweet. They will love you for it. So I'm just going to flip back to me real quick and see if you guys have any questions. There I am. Hello. Yeah. So I mean, that's really what I wanted to show you today. It's nothing, you know, big and grandiose. But hey, I have a cool idea for next week that I'm thinking about doing for you guys. And I don't how would I know? Okay, yeah, let me jump to the question real quick because this is really what we're here for, not me talking. Okay. All right, Mary, great question. How do you normally attach them to the back of your quilt? There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can take and you can take your fabric. You can leave some beyond the edges. And what you're going to do is fold it over and press all those edges to the back, right? And then you can hand stitch it on. You can make these in the shape of a kind of like a triangle and sew it into the binding. So it's kind of like folded. And let me see if I can find a cool picture. Let me show you this one. This one's really cool. I didn't do, this is not me. It's somewhere out on the web, but let me show you what I saw. This is a cool way to do it. I'm trying to remember what I typed in. So embroidered quilt labels. So give me just a second and I will show you guys. Yeah, it's this one right here. This one's a cool idea. And you've seen these. If you're a quilter, you've seen these. But this would be a great way to, you would kind of stitch it at an angle. It'd be really easy. Let me pull this one up. This one's beautiful. And then show you guys on screen here. Okay, so share screen, pull it up. Okay, so see this right here, this triangle. So basically all they did was they took a piece of fabric, they embroidered it on the diagonal and then folded the fabric over to have this nice clean edge right here, and then just sewed it into your binding. So that's one way to do it as well. But then let me see, since we're here, oh, these are the really cute ones that I was talking about. See this right here where you just take some fabric and you sew it to the edges. Now, Shanae earlier gave us a great idea, and I'm going to come back up and find her little message on how to do it, because you can kind of make it like an inside-outy turny thingy. And that's very technical, I know. Okay. Let's see. Shanae, where are you, girl? I'm looking for your post here just a second ago. Okay, so Shanae says, take a cutaway and lay it over the top. So that means lay it on the very top, the right side. Stitch around the outside and then make a slit into the middle of the cutaway. Turn it right side out. And then the edges are turned under so you can go right ahead and hand stitch that on. Now, I have seen where people have taken it and used some sort of like I said earlier, like a fusible webbing. And if you take a fusible webbing and do that, let me stop sharing. If you can take a fusible webbing and fuse it, and then fuse it to the back of the quilt. And like I said, those are washable. But they'll also go ahead and quilt over it. But you would have to make sure your quilter or you are going to use like a lighter thread so you'll be able to still see this. But it doesn't matter. It's going to be in the quilt and you'll still be able to read it. Yep. You can also use fusible in the same way. Exactly. So someone used 1.5 inch wide ribbon with her name and a date in really small letters. That's a great idea because you can embroider on grosgrain ribbon. And I know that the way that I learned from Hope Yoder is what you're going to do is if you embroider on grosgrain ribbon, what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of fusible tearaway. You're going to cut it just a hair short or a hair smaller than the width of the grosgrain ribbon. You're going to fuse it to the back of the grosgrain ribbon. Then you're going to take that ribbon and first you're going to hoop some sticky tearaway, and you're going to lay that wrong side of the ribbon down to the sticky tearaway, and you're going to stitch on that. Now you're going to tear it away, but you will never tear away the fused tearaway. And it's always there, and it makes beautiful embroidery on grosgrain ribbon. So, yeah. Oh, Marge says she's taken a used bounce sheet, so a used dryer sheet, and did the sew on, flip it inside out. That's a good way to keep it smelling good. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. So, there's, you guys, there's like more ways, or more than one way to skin a cat. So definitely more than one way to apply a quilt label. Let's see. Janet says, I put mine on the back in the lower right-hand corner before I put the binding on. That way it is tucked into the corner and all you have to do is hand stitch 2 sides instead of 4. I like her thinking. Yeah, perfect. Yes, I like that. So she just takes it and puts it down in the corner, gets that binding around, and she's like, okay, now I just got to stitch that and that. So, but, you know, you can use them for multiple different things. And like I said, they're so easy and so quick. And look how good they look, especially with this beautiful lettering we have built into our machines, right? We are awesome. So any more questions? So what I was talking about for next week, and I just want to kind of get you guys thought on this. And I thought, you know how I like to have projects for you guys because I just think they're very fun. And this will not be a pay class. This will be for Sunday. Is I was thinking about us or me designing and of course teaching you how to design it to your own mouse pad that you can customize. And that would be great because with our machines, some of us like to use our mouse with our machines, right? And then we can have it right next door. So I just wanted to see if you guys would be interested in something like that. I have it all in my head, ready to go. But I thought that would be kind of fun to make our own mouse pads, special for our machines. So let me know what you think. And yeah. So you guys, sorry, this was a quick one. Gosh, 35 minutes. I never talked this less. Okay, good. I got Alexis on board. There we go. All right, we're going to do that. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for jumping on with me tonight. Make sure to go watch Mike and Amanda over at Mama's Boy because tonight is their night. And good, y'all are all liking that. Okay, cool. Cool, I like that. And so I will see you Sunday. And if you need me or anything, you know how to reach out and keep posting your projects because that's the highlight for me. It's actually, my husband loves seeing your projects, guys. He watches all the time and he's like, look at, did you see what she did? And I'm like, yeah, she's better than me. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your week and I'll see you on Sunday. So thank you guys. Have a great one. Bye. Okay. Oh, remember to shop local and shop small. Bye, guys. There we go.